Hey everybody, welcome back to Lex Loves Music. I'm Lex Dahl and I love music, and so does my guest. This week it's Jason from the Brash Menagerie.
Hey,
Jason,
how's it going?
are we going stage name? Jason Brash?
Whatever, that's fine.
First question, most important question, answer honestly. How are you?
Well, I'll be like you said, and honesty is the
Yeah,
most important part of this here. I
yeah.
am do okay. I don't know if you can tell by my voice. I'm a little scratchy. I just got over, or I'm still getting over being sick, and so yeah, I lost my voice for a couple days, and I don't know. Yeah, so sure, a podcast is probably the best thing for it.
Well, I mean, I had to
But
cancel one week of the podcast already because I lost my voice screaming too much at Scalpelton. So
that happens. It happens. That's
yeah.
what you got to do.
Yeah. Do you have any, so that was just from being sick though. You lose your voice a lot. Seems like a really big symptom for you. Do you have any remedies when you're
I
sick to try
will
to save that?
uh hot honey and lemon water is what I've been trying to do, especially if I know we got a show coming up or something like that. But yeah, actually, that's right. You filled in for me one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically because the this exact thing happened, and those are like the only two times that this has happened to me. So it's not like a normal thing, but
Did this happen? You didn't have any, this was last week or this past week, so you didn't have any shows this past week. Or did it happen when you were in
no, no. In
lacrosse?
fact,
Yeah.
excuse me. No, in fact, we don't have any. Oh no, my other band had a show in La Crosse
But were you sick for that?
last week. I think I was just either starting to, or maybe I got
That
sick there. I'm
because
not
that was the
sure.
day after the grill out, and the grill out you were fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So either it happened there, or
yeah.
I don't know, germs.
Fucking
Hey, what are you gonna
lacrosse.
do?
I don't trust the
Nah.
people of lacrosse enough. None of them are probably vaxxed.
I'm
um,
sure they were.
we'll start off how I kind of start off every interview is I want to talk about young Jason, early
Oh boy.
punk Jason, or even
Okay.
predate punk. What was your intro to music? What inspired you to start picking up a bass if that was your first instrument or a guitar, whatever you learned first? Because you're one of the biggest punks I know, but maybe you had a earlier musical love. You're also a huge hip hop fan. I found out recently. Like you know
Yeah.
a lot about hip hop. So where did music start for you?
So when I was a child, I was actually kidnapped and held hostage by musicians.
Okay.
And it was kind of a Stockholm syndrome type thing that, you know, they kept talking about how great it was to, not get paid for shows and travel all over and spend more than you make. And I was like, man, that's what I want to do. Uh, no, I'm just kidding. My mom was a piano teacher growing up, and so we all had to take piano lessons as kids, and that was sort of my first foray into music. As far as the bass, um, I wanted to be in a band, and everybody else played guitar, and nobody was playing bass except for one other kid in my school, and he was already in like four bands. So I said, "Well, we'll try this thing."
The
So
by proxy,
yeah,
basis. Yeah.
yeah.
I had a similar thing where I was taking guitar lessons. I took them for about a year. And then at the end of the year, I was like, I'm bad at this. Like, I have not gotten better in a year. So I gave up on
Oh,
it. I gave up on instruments. I was like, I'll just be a vocalist, I guess. And then I was at a show, uh, and I watched the bassist, who was also the vocalist, like play at the same time. And I was like, well, that looks seamless. And I was like, I think I could do that. And so I did that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
It's
my base then. But as far as so what did you discover first genre wise? Was it hip hop? Was it punk? or
So that's
even
a
after
weird.
piano? Because I'm sure, what were you learning for piano? Classical stuff or?
No, I never got any. I never got that far. Um, just beginning stuff. My I actually discovered hip hop first. I had some cousins that lived down in Chicago, and I remember one time we went down there for Christmas, and my my cousin introduced me to the first Beastie Boys cassette at the time, and I was like, "This is wild. This is crazy. I like this a lot." Um, so this, yeah, I don't know. That was kind of my first, and that was kind of like punk and rap. So
Right. Yeah.
I think that was kind of the origin of that. As far as the punk stuff, growing up in Green Bay, I wasn't really exposed. We didn't have any radio stations or anything that played it, and I didn't. You know, a lot of times you find out about music from older siblings or whatever, but I was the oldest, so I didn't know about it. And then in high school, I had a friend named Chad Ness who we used to go cruising in his car for lunch and stuff, and he popped in this CD, um, and it was the Punk-orama Volume One. It was the very first one,
First one.
so
Okay.
it had all sorts of like No Effects, Bad Religion, Pennywise, and I was like, yeah, this I like this. This is a lot.
It, is that a green cover? Like green background with like maybe pink font? Do you
Yep,
remember?
I think the it says Punk-orama in like
Yeah.
orange,
I think
and
that's sitting 5 minutes or 5 feet behind my laptop right now. I just picked that up at the
nice.
door a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah, that's what kind of changed my life.
Yeah. And you
So
mentioned no
thank you,
effects.
Chad.
Shout out to Shad. You mentioned no effects. I don't know many people who love no effects more than you. Uh,
Oh
uh,
boy.
Obviously, like I mean, like you wrote a tribute song. Can you talk about how much no effects means to you?
Um, I sure. Um, they were they were one of the first bands that I heard that wrote silly songs and political songs,
Right.
um, which was kind of right in my wheelhouse. I um, am somewhat political, maybe not as much as I used to be, um, and I like to write silly songs. So it was seemed to be a perfect mashing of the two. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, so that was kind of the yeah, I don't know, and they just seem to be having fun. Like obviously later you find out, well, some of the stuff they did is not so great, and maybe some
I
of them are a little less
I I
savory
got
than others.
I got pretty pissed at them reading the book.
The
uh
book is yeah, it's a lot.
I
It's
I never I couldn't finish it. The one part where uh Mike is talking about Melvin's girlfriend being assaulted, and they're like, "Yeah, he she did it," and then they're like, "He did, sorry, bud." That really pissed me
yeah.
off. But the most angry I got in the book was actually I was straight edge at the time still when I read it, and it's the part where they're talking about their European tour where they rented a bus and they found out that Minor Threat was the next band that was going to use the bus. And so they bought like a bunch of alcohol and like rubbed it into the carpet of the van so that it all
Yeah,
stunk for them. And I was like, you dicks.
yeah,
Like,
that's a dick move. That's a dick move. And
and like
the
it's a
Moron
funny prank,
Brothers,
but yeah. And
yeah, and the whole
even
Moron Brothers stuff. Yeah.
their cover of Straight Edge, it's like that's disrespectful. I don't care if it's funny. But I love them,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I've ever told you, I hated NoFX when I first heard them. They were my least favorite band, but they were my
Okay.
brother's favorite. They are my brother's favorite band of all time. And he was supposed to go see them at the rave one year with a coworker. Our coworker got like food poisoning or something the day of or the day before. Brother already had tickets. He was like, "You have to go," and I was like, "No, I don't want to go." He's like, "You have to," and so I was like, "Fine." So I went, and I was like, I'll suck it up. And it was an amazing show. They blew me away live. And it's crazy because I heard they suck live, but they did it.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Another band that I know that you really like that was an early Jason band was Face to Face.
Yes,
You saw them like was that what was your first concert? I know you went to that famous Face to Face show where the floor caved in. You told me
the
about
Kutzkus
that.
Hall show. Yeah,
Yeah.
that also. God, I didn't realize I was going to be talking about Chad Ness so much here. But yes, he was at the time. He and I worked at Fleet Farm, and that's not a so up north, up in Green Bay, and actually I think north of Oshkosh. For the longest time, it was only Fleet Farms, no farm and fleets.
Right. Okay.
So when I moved here, I was like, I don't know what a farm and fleet is, but yeah. So we worked at Fleet Farm, and he was putting up posters in the break room and stuff for um, the Big Choice album, and my let's see how does this go here. So Kutzkus Hall was in Swamico, and my dad was a teacher at Bayport at the time, and which was the high school, maybe about a mile down the road from the venue. And he was like, "Yeah." I told him what I was doing. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't want you to go." I'm like, "Okay." So I was like, "All right, well, I guess I'm gonna go do something else then," and ended up sneaking off to the show, which, as a lot of people know, that was the show that they got everybody jumping up and down, and the floor caved in, and about a week later, the building was condemned because there was no fixing that.
Yeah. Is
So,
that
yeah.
did you get caught from your dad for being at that show because that
I
happened
did
or
not, but if he watches this, he'll find out now.
so he still doesn't know?
No, he doesn't know. Which is good probably.
Yeah. Well, I hope I
But
hope if he watches you don't get in trouble.
that's fine. I feel like the statute of limitations is probably expired on that one.
Let's talk. You were talking about no effects, funny and political, which I think is the perfect description for the Brash Menagerie. Uh,
Oh gosh,
definitely,
okay.
like that's what it is. But so you have a pretty cool thing that happened with Brash very recently. A cool, awesome update.
It did.
Yeah,
All right. What
the
is it? What is it?
you have a new drummer.
Oh, okay.
So talk about the
That is
lineup
true.
change. Talk about the lineup change, and everything that inspired that, and how that all came together. And
Sure, absolutely. So, for the last few years, Deegan, our drummer, excuse me, um, was talking about it was kind of becoming a lot. It was physically taxing on him, and um, it was just he wasn't having as much fun as he had originally. So he had at one point kind of suggested, "Hey, can we start looking for a different drummer?" And then actually, when we were at Lex Fest, after that show, he kind of just said, I don't think I can do this anymore." Which was interesting because we had kind of talked about it a few times, and one of the names that kept coming up that would be a really good fit, we thought, um, and he at the time wasn't playing any drums, although he'd been a drummer for years. Is John Cuso, who actually was at that show, that Lex Fest show. So I was talking to him, kind of trying to see if he was be interested, and while we were talking, he said, "Oh yeah, and I just joined this other band," and I went, "Oh, okay." So maybe this isn't the time to ask if you want to, if you'd be interested in joining Brash as well. But I did put it out there like a week or two later, and he was like, "Yeah, that would be fun." So we've had a couple practices, and it seems to be a great fit. He's picking everything up right away, and the group chat is just as silly and ridiculous as I would expect it to continue to be. Um, so yes, and he was in a number of bands in Madison for I don't know years. He was in Government Zero, Doctor Noise, for Aspirin Morning.
Yep.
So he's been doing it for a while, and nothing I write is overly complicated. So he's been picking up on it right away.
As long as he can nail the
Everything's
moving
in
on.
4/4, so yeah, just
As long as he nails the moving on part, that's your best drum part. So.
that was the one song that we were like, hey, we should try this one. And he at first practice, he's like, there are so many parts to this. It's like you took all the drum parts that you could think of and put them all in one song, which is it was a kind of a funny thing to say, but yeah, it took a couple practices for him to get that one.
That's like how early Tim T was, because we programmed all our drums, and so Mike and I were programming what sounded cool. And then when we actually had a drummer, he was like, "All of this is unplayable. Like these aren't parts that can be played." We're like, "Oh,
right.
sorry."
Oh, for sure.
Like, talk about the
For sure.
writing process for Brash, because are you lyrics first? Are you music first? Are you idea? Because you have like just some of the funniest lyrics and ideas, and like what comes first for you?
For me, I am a lyrics first guy. I
That
know
okay,
that's
that makes
kind
a lot
of
of sense. No, that's how I
a
write.
lot of people don't. I don't know. Everybody I talk to is like, we like to have the music first and then write something for that. And to me, I I write the lyrics and then I'll try to. I usually will get the melody in my head how I want to hear it,
Yep.
and then I'll try to figure out the music that goes with it or the best, even if I can't play it or whatever, try to figure out something that will be doable afterwards.
Right. That's exactly how I do it. It's like I come up with the vocal melody as I'm writing lyrics, and we'll go figure out the rest
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so I want to know.
Now I will stop. Oh gosh, I will stop you
No,
there
you.
real quick though because you
Yeah.
said something. The very first Brash album was programmed drums as well,
Really?
and when Deegan joined, he actually said the same thing. He's like, some of this is not playable. Like I can't do this.
Yeah.
And so that's funny. You had a similar
We had a
similar
similar thing.
instance.
Yeah. I want to know about. I was thinking you were lyrics first because of your greatest lyric in the entire discography
Oh
of
boy.
Brash. Can you tell me how you came up with "It's Such a Waste of Glaze" from Bathroom Donut? The
Oh my
final
god.
line of the song is just, it's the best lyric. Like obviously
That's
Bathroom
funny because
Donut, iconic song, iconic story, but that line is just, I mean, that was the grand slam.
it's funny you should say that because Deegan said that's probably one of his favorite lyrics as well. Um,
Mike, when I filled in for you at that Battle of the Bands, Mike was so jealous of me that I was singing Bathroom Donut because I got to sing that lyric. And if you actually
um,
watch the video that you filmed, you'll see me point into the crowd because I'm pointed at Mike as him and I sing it
oh,
together
nice.
because he just loves that line.
um, God, I don't remember how I came up with it. I just remember, and for those who don't know,
Yeah.
the story of Bathroom Donut is uh, my guitar player and I, Becca, were having dinner in a small Mexican restaurant in Marshall, and it was about 6 o'clock, and we went in. I went to the bathroom, and there was a uneaten don't an un yeah. There was a full donut just sitting in the bathroom on the sink, and there's not a donut store anywhere near there. There's not a. I mean, it was evening. I couldn't figure out why on earth this donut was there. Um, so in my head, I kind of like I don't know wrote the story that I think happened, or kind of a love song to a lost donut. Excuse me. So I like Waste of Glaze. I actually used to work in a bakery, and I would glaze donuts in the morning, which sounds really dirty now that I say that out loud. Um, but I would go in there sometimes. I had to be there at like 4 in the morning. So, and I was much younger at the time, so I would a lot of times go out to bar close, go get breakfast at Denny's, and then just go right to work. So occasionally I would spend way too much time like decorating one donut, like spend 20 minutes decorating a donut. And yeah, I just I don't know. Yeah, it seemed like a waste of glaze to just
So,
throw away a donut.
so you were a professional glaze waster.
Sure. I I would not put it that way, but yes, that sure. I will go
Do
with that.
you think you could have identified where that donut was from? Like, did it like scream Quick Trip donut, or did it still have
I
did it still have
I
the paper with it, or was it just a donut?
Yeah, no, it
Okay.
still had the paper with it. It was I can absolutely say that it was not a Quick Trip donut.
Okay.
There is a Quick Trip close by, but this is not one of the donuts they have available.
Okay.
So
Was it just a
I
cake
took a bit.
donut or
It was, but it was no, it wasn't a cake donut.
no?
I don't know. I gotta look at the now. I gotta look at the picture. You got me all. I didn't realize I was getting the third degree on this donuts here. But it was not a
Uh,
glazer, and it was not a dunker. It was none of the
none
it
of
was
the
none of the
Quick
quick
Trip.
trip.
Yeah. Okay. There was a question I'm gonna jump around to two different things real quick because I forgot to ask a question about John. Um, does
Okay.
John play any other instruments besides drums that you know of? My question really is that you were awarded last year the award for second best bassist in Brash Menagerie.
Oh,
And
oh,
I'm wondering
gotcha.
if John is also a bassist, does that knock you down or do you remain your second place spot?
I, to my knowledge, he does not play anything other than drums. I can't say
Okay.
for sure,
Yeah.
um, but hopefully, I'm still holding on to that number two spot.
Does it also feel weird having a guy in your band now that people wear shirts that say fuck John Cuso in it? Like to have like a man of such a notoriety.
So that's a funny story. I did not know him when that
Oh,
all of that went down. I later found out it was because of a roast. He
oh,
had been roasted, and um, I'm not quite sure the whole story. Um, but yes, I've seen those shirts around. I know there's a song. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I was asked if we're gonna do a reissue or something like that.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't actually know how he feels about it. So I mean he's usually a pretty good sport about
Yeah.
most stuff. So
John's great.
but
To go to Waste of Glaze is my other question. I was going to follow up with that because I mentioned how much Mike likes the song. Mike was the guest last week on the podcast. He sent a question for you. He wants to know
oh
in the
boy,
last 5 years, what are you most proud of?
the last 5 years. Um,
2021, I guess would be.
okay. As far as what like musically or
I think as
what the
far
band
as
has done or
anything. I think as far as anything, he's nodding. He's next to me, so he's nodding as far as anything goes. The
Oh,
last
he's
five
over
years.
there now. Hi,
Yeah,
Mike.
he
How's it
drank a
going?
little. He drank a little much too last night, so he had a crash here.
Well, good. That's way to be responsible and not drive. Wow. I think that's too broad of a question.
I mean, if you want to limit it to Brash or any other band you're in, or you want to keep it to music, or
I. Oh man. Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know how to answer that. As far as Brash, I mean, we've played some really fun shows that I've been proud of. Um, Done some cool stuff, traveled. Um, yeah, I don't know. My
EP
like, I
dropped.
had a my what's that?
I was saying the
Yeah,
EP
it's
dropped.
yeah. We had a yeah we had a little gap there between when we actually recorded music and put stuff out. We have a tendency to write songs, play them, and then after we've played them for like a year, then we record them, which is seems like it's way too long
Yeah.
because by the well you've recorded, so you know that you got to play that song another 100 times, and it's like at that point we're already sick of it.
Yeah.
So
Well, like even
I don't know,
Bathroom
but we
Donut,
do.
the first time I saw Bathroom Donut live was actually your solo set at Up North.
Well, that yeah, that was oh shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of like that because that gives me a chance to try to. There's a few songs that I play acoustically that we don't have recorded, and you'll never hear them in the full band.
Hmm.
Um, just because they were like, was it Apartment 7? I don't ever play. We don't ever play that one as a full band. And that one's about the shitty neighbor that I had that lived upstairs. But it's a very easy, very simple song that is fairly boring to play. So I generally only play it by myself because I won't make anybody do that. I think it's just two chords and it's very slow. Um, but yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it gives me a chance to test it out and feel it before we actually bring it to the full band. So
Can
I like doing stuff like that. Like,
can you ask a question for next week's guest?
who is next week's guest?
No idea. Just keep it vague enough that anyone can answer.
Oh, let's come back to that. Let's come back to
Okay.
that.
Let's go back to that. We'll do another
Give
rapid
me a
fire.
couple minutes to think.
Yeah. This was a rapid fire game that I introduced last week. Just top three. Oh, perfect timing. We have 10 minutes left. That's exactly when I start liking to play this game. This is just gonna rapid
Okay.
fire top three. So top three albums.
Oh,
You can
mine.
start any order you want, not of like not ones you made, just of all time, your favorite three albums. You can start with
Yeah,
one, you can
yeah.
start with three. I think Mike went like two, three, one, and that was really hard, so maybe don't do that. But
I'm gonna probably just list my favorite albums, and then I don't know that I want to put an order in there.
yeah.
Um, oh gosh, that's a really good question. I would say one that I absolutely will go down as probably one of my favorites of all time is "Stranger Than Fiction" by Bad Religion. Um, that one that one was a really good one,
That's
and
a
it kind of
good
hit.
that's a good
You know how like
undercut.
albums. What's that?
I was just say it's nice to not hear someone say like suffer. Like,
I mean, Suffer's good, and that was the one that got me.
yeah.
Um, but Yeah, Stranger Than Fiction. It kind of hit me like right. I don't know. You know how there's albums that you find right at the right time,
Yeah.
and that was one of those. Um, what else? No, I'm blanking now. Um, Pennywise, Full Circle was another one that was right at the right time. And then I would say probably Punk and Drublick were all ones that, yeah, I would say that's probably my top three. Although it's kind of weird now that I think about it, they're all like, I don't know, 20 years old. I feel like there should be something more recent that
I'm
should be
glad
up
that
there, but
Punk and
I'm blanking
Drublick
right now.
I'm glad that Punk and Drublick's your favorite NoFX album, that I was able to have you come on and feature on a song from that when we had you on for the Bruise.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, top
Um,
three.
I
Top.
actually,
You go. You go.
oh, I was gonna say, as far as like NoFX album art, I would say Heavy Petting Zoo is
Yeah.
probably up there.
I love
Although
the.
the record, um, have you seen the vinyl version of that?
Yes. What's that one called? It's
It's called Eat More Lamb.
Yes. Yeah. More than right. All right.
Yeah,
I think I really like the
yeah.
Wolves.
I've always wanted that, and
I just to say I love the
the Out Came the
Wolves.
Wolves, or no?
Yeah, no, the Wolves and Wolves Clothing album artwork. Like it's so simple. I just love
Yeah.
it. Like just the black and yellow, like the
Yes.
construction sign, whatever. I just love that. Coaster's great, and even Frisbee's great. I love most of their artwork.
Yeah.
Top three songs.
Oh gosh. Um. Oh god. You know what's terrible is like I
Are you
can
not good
sing
with
them, but
not
I
good
don't know
with
what their
titles?
names are. Terrible with titles.
I did not ask Mike
Actually, I
this
think
question because he doesn't know titles.
um, Bad Religion. I think it's Do What You Want.
Yeah, yeah.
Or is it
Do
okay?
what you want, don't do it around
Um,
me.
yeah, that one. Um, oh gosh, I'm woefully unprepared for this. You caught me. You got me. Um, maybe Superman by Goldfinger. I feel like Goldfinger should have been on one of my album ones as well. Um, oh gosh, there should have been an Alkaline one on there too. Oh man, this is bad podcasting right here. I'm my wheels are
I
spinning. The
I
hamsters
love it.
hamsters just
I
running.
love like the hot ones aesthetic of the hard questions that people can't answer.
Um. Okay. Well, let me just see what I've been listening to here
Yeah.
lately. Oh, the Menzingers. What song is that? America, You're Freaking Me Out. That's probably one of my favorites. And then Get Dead has one that I have just been listening to over and over. Um, Stick Up. Stick Up is one that I've been obsessed with. Although they've got some great stuff too. And I've really been enjoying the Fat Mike Get Dead combination for
Oh,
what is it? The Co-Defendants.
go to him.
I don't know if you've listened to have you listened to the Co-Defendants?
I listened to like the first thing they released, I think. I don't remember if it was a
Okay.
single or a couple tracks or something. And then we saw them live. They opened for No Effects on the farewell tour, at least the
Oh,
date that
nice.
we went and saw in Minneapolis. It was them
Sure.
and Vanderpilot. But Mike wasn't with them. I don't know if Mike even plays live with them at all anymore. But he didn't play for
Yeah,
that show.
I don't know. I know that he's in a bunch of the videos with them, and he's got
Yeah.
a. I think he just features on a couple songs,
Okay.
but
Yeah. Because I think the original stuff they put out, he's like, "This is my new band," and then I think very quickly it was no longer his new band.
uh,
Guy's too busy. Guy's too busy. Maybe
yeah,
easier, maybe harder. Top three bands.
three bands. Oh boy, Bad Religion is easily the band I've seen the most.
Okay.
Um, uh, top three bands. Well, this would be a good place to put in
Yeah.
Alkaline Trio. Um, yeah, maybe No Effects. That's probably it's probably those three, in
Yeah.
some sort of order. I'm sure
Those
I'm
are the
forgetting
ones.
somebody.
Those are the ones. At least I think you have tattoos of all three of those.
So I only have two band tattoos, and it is Goldfinger and Alkaline Trio.
Right. Okay. I have majorly. I have. I think two non-band tattoos. I
I
think.
was gonna say, I think you've got the opposite. Yes,
Yeah.
although I was when I started getting tattoos, I was told, oh, don't ever get anybody's name, like your girlfriend or whoever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then don't get any band tattoos because what happens if turns out they're not good or
It's
whatever,
it's
or they
it's
break
really
up. And
scary. Yeah, right now it's really scary having band tattoos and everyone getting canceled. I think getting Madison and Milwaukee bands, I'm kind of safer. Like I just get
I think especially if you know the people in them, I think it's a
yeah.
little different. Um, but yeah, I think if I, God, I can't even imagine what I would have gotten when I was younger.
Yeah.
If I, because I waited a little bit for all of mine, and now I have my kids' names, um, which I'm not ever gonna regret that. So,
Right. Right. We got about a minute left. If you have a question for next week's guest, you can ask it, but I also request that you name this episode and then tell the people where they
boy.
can find you.
All right. I guess my question, since we were talking about it, what is your favorite donut?
Okay.
And if you don't eat donuts, what is
Favorite pastry?
your favorite pastry? Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Um, name this episode.
Yeah.
Uh, how about Lex and Jason get glazed?
Okay. That's perfect. Where can the people find you,
Okay.
Jason? You or
You can find us
Brash?
on Spotify, YouTube, all the streaming services. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. I know menagerie is a mouthful, so hopefully Lex will spell it right in the description, and
Like,
maybe we can even add a link or something to the link
yeah,
tree.
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Jason. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.